We are live.
How do you know we're live? Penis. That was from Simpsons.
And now that will be on the internet forever.
Yes. I see the Albion in the background.
Yeah, boy.
Albion.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, I also saw your Lin Min May thing.
Yeah.
Y'all let's see it up there. Who made that?
That is by... Give me a second. It's a prize figure. It's by... Ben Presto.
Okay. Yeah, I was thinking it was probably Man Presto. If it was a prize thing of Macross. Yeah, I see it right here. It came out 2013. That's nice.
Okay. Give me 1 second. Okay. Set. Everything's good on my end.
Yes. Wait, test that again.
What's that?
Test again. Because you were breaking you were getting all computery sounding for a sec.
Okay.
Now you're good.
All good on my end.
Yes, now you are.
Roger that. IRC set. Got Twitter. Got that. Mailbox open. All right, ready to start?
Yes. Any listeners? Oh wait, we should do the. I'm sorry.
Oh yeah, I need to put it up on Twitter. This one.
Can't load in for some reason. Let me try again. Just says connecting. Why isn't it loading in?
Good question. Not sure.
Because I don't do the password thing. Just go straight in. We don't have to. If it's not working, then.
Yeah, it might be something server side. I'm not sure.
All right, then forget about it. We'll just continue. Okay.
Yeah, I'll keep trying in the meantime.
All right. All right. So.
All right. Ready in 3, 2, 1. Welcome to NTR Radio. I'm Tom Enforcer Anubis.
And it's just me, VZ Mark II.
Yep. Hey guys isn't with us this week.
Hello? What happened? Did I press something? Did I do something? Oh, shit. There you go. Okay, there you are.
Okay, now we can start.
Yes. Lovely.
Every time something else goes wrong.
Did I press something or?
That was probably not on your end. That was probably on my end.
Okay. Lovely.
In any case, the chat is now once again working for me. So that's the good news.
Let me see. No, it's not working for me.
Well, the second good news is that happened like right at the beginning, so we can actually restart this time.
All right.
Okay. And just make sure everything is actually secure this time. Doesn't fall apart again. Okay, ready on my end.
Yes, yes.
In 3, 2, 1. Welcome to NTR Radio. I'm Tom Enforcer Anubis.
And I'm VZ Mark II.
Okay, guys, this is with us this week.
No.
So what's been going on?
Nothing much really. Honestly, it's every week is always the same. But other than drawing and such and watching anime. I did watch, but I did get some interesting stuff in the mail today.
Oh.
This week, not today. This week. I don't have it out. I put it in with my other books, but I got the visual art collection for Idolmaster Cinderella Girls.
Oh, very nice.
That's nice. But the other thing I got is some figures. First off, we have Perrine.
Ooh. Yeah, very nice.
Don't get me wrong. It's not like I want to be on this podcast or anything.
I have to say, I don't like how loosely the arms peg in.
Ooh.
They just pop in little. I wish that they were a little tighter on there. All the different arms. Also, the silver part on her glasses kind of leave a silver mark stain on the faceplate.
Ah.
I don't know. But other than that, it's cool that you could change the legs and all that.
Yeah.
And she has her gun and sword and her electricity thing. And yeah, you can change the bangs without the cat ears. But I leave them on because I'm leaving the tail on because it's on a thin ball joint. And
oh yeah, I hate those.
Yeah, I don't want to like pop it in and out. So I'll just if you leave it in there, it's fine. The other stuff I got is Cat in the Hat Thing 1 and Thing 2.
Yeah.
Meet Slut 1 and Slut 2. Mika and Rika from Idolmaster Cinderella Girls. And these are perfect. These are no problems. These are great. Figma are getting very expensive, so like I said, after I'm done with the regular Love Life cast, I'm gonna be really selective. Even by the time they do like Love Life Sunshine, I'm only gonna be getting certain ones because the price has just been going exponentially high.
Right.
So it's not that. So it has to be more of the ones that I'd really like.
Yeah.
And there's no more. There hasn't been any news of any other Idolmaster of Figma. And so sorry, no Miki. No news of that Miki.
Well, I mean, if they want my money, they're gonna come out with it because that's one of like the 3 I would even consider buying.
Well, they are doing for Nendoroids. I'm just changing the parts here. They are doing for Nendoroids. The original characters, and they already have protos for Haruka and Miki, and they're also planning Yayoi and Sukane.
Well, I mean, that's nice, but buy Nendoroids.
Well, the bad thing is it's not regular Nendoroids. It's in the code line, which is kind of like what FigFix is to Figma is, but it's for Nendoroids. So it's kind of like they're in fixed pose, but they
still have the interchangeable parts.
They have the interchangeable heads. Yeah, the heads you could change, and the faceplates that you change. They only come with like one faceplate, and also
right.
they what is it? You could like change between like the upper and lower part of the body.
Right.
So I don't know. I'm not those characters. Maybe by the time, because I really because they're doing the based on the Platinum Stars game, and I really like the way Ritsuko looks in that game. So maybe for that.
Yeah, well, not a whole lot has happened on my end. I got a couple of figures. I got 2 Macross figures. I've been on this heavy Macross kick for the past couple weeks. So I got the Shaw Gnome and the Lin Minmei up there. So it was yesterday. I went out to the mailbox, got the Lin Minmei figure out of the mailbox, opened it, didn't even take it out of the box, got into my car and drove to the airport so I could take a whole bunch of photos against the
I saw
control
it.
tower. Like that idea has been in my head all week for that figure. So I did that. Other than that, not a whole lot. There was an anime store that opened up a couple weeks ago, down like an hour or so down the road. So I went there last week, picked up. That's where I got the Shell Gnome figure and picked up a few Gundam stuff, some bases, a couple of the 1/144th action bases, stuff like that. And other than that, I've been mostly working on the magazine, doing other stuff. I've watched a bit of anime. I've been slowly going through the old SDF Macross and rewatching Do You Remember Love, and I also caught up on New Game.
How are you enjoying that?
I'm really enjoying it.
It's all right. It's not Dogakobo's best, in my opinion.
It's not their best, but it's really good. I'm really enjoying what they're putting out there.
What did I watch? I'm still enjoying Sweetness and Lightning and Love Life Sunshine. I don't get this people complaining about like how they're just, because I know what it is. The characters are kind of riding on the coattails of the original. Right. But that's because they're fans of the original. That's how they're doing it. But there's nothing wrong with. So I don't really see the problem with that. I'm finding it funny. I watched Kizu Monogatari the day after we did the last podcast.
Oh, how's that?
That was really good. Despite Monogatari, like I didn't even bother watching the web one other than a few episodes that they did.
Right.
So the newer stuff hasn't been as intriguing to me. But this movie's really good. And it looks great. It's only an hour long because it's part one of a 3-part.
No, which is fine. I mean, the Gundam The Origin movies are an hour long, and those are fantastic.
Yeah, it's kind of like that, where that's kind of what they're doing here. It's almost like Hollywood splitting up movies.
Right.
It's kind of like akin to that. What else did I watch? I watched Garo something, Restore the World. The only reason why I watched that is because I wanted to see if I liked it, because the Nendoroid looked nice. Yeah. That was all right. That really wasn't really worth my time.
I did actually took it out of the box and watched Gundam The Origin 1, the English dub. It's a pretty good English dub, though I must say, Giran Zabi's voice in English, perfect. Exactly how I'd imagine that man sounding. Just less this doesn't really knows what he's doing, knows what's going on, doesn't really give a fuck. That's exactly how this guy sounds.
Right.
So I watched that. I've but
oh, I'm sorry, you broke up there. What did you watch?
I neglected to mention this a few episodes. A few weeks ago, I watched Dirty Pair Project Eden.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not even a big Dirty Pair fan. Like, I've only seen the OVAs and the movie and that movie, but that movie's just really good, well animated.
Oh yeah, it's ridiculous and it's pretty.
Yeah, it is very ridiculous.
It's because you know what I'm doing is, so I manage the the Facebook page for Yashike, and I came upon this video clip that I posted to the page. You know that part where they're on the air transporter and Yuri just starts dancing for no reason?
That part, maybe.
It's in the beginning of the movie, but anyway.
Yeah.
So the clip I had was silent, and I'm like, I really need to have context for this because this is too ridiculous, and I need to know what's going on here. And it turns out that the real actual part of that movie is just silence with a music track over it. So I gained no context, but I watched a fantastic movie.
Right.
But other than that, it's been pretty quiet. It's been hot.
Yeah.
Like
I haven't gone out much, but the little bit that I have, it's like been too hot to go out.
It's so hot that before I put the AC up, my door was difficult to close because it had expanded from the heat.
Right.
So that's basically what all of us have been dealing with.
Did I watch anything else? No, I think that was it.
Yeah, I will say I still need to. I'm still gonna watch HXH, that show. The show, the show I was halfway through the first episode.
That thing's ridiculous. That thing's ridiculous.
Because I keep seeing screenshots, and I'm like, all right, I'm looking forward to this.
I'm also watching this Art Club Has a Problem.
That one I need to get on too, because I've been seeing screenshots and clips from that one.
That one's all right too. I'm actually liking that a little bit more than New Game.
Yeah, so there's quite a few anime I need to check out this season. I just haven't gotten around to it.
Oh, I know what I'm excited for. Next season, they saying as a web anime, I don't know how many. I'm imagining it's going to be short, so it'll be total to like a certain amount. But Girlfriend Beta's back.
Oh.
They're doing it under the name that the game that the iPhone game is, the iOS game, Girlfriend Note. I'm just happy more Girlfriend Beta.
Yeah. So, in any case,
yeah,
we're gonna take a break. Keep it right here on NTR Radio. Hit that button, and then that one.
Do we have mail today?
Give me 1 second, I will check. Let's do that one.
Yeah. I'll be right back, actually.
Yep.
Okay.
Yo.
Yep. Okay. All right. All right. It almost looks like you have Combiner Wars Superion in the background, but it doesn't because it's so pixelated. Your picture.
Yeah. I don't know why that is. I have to figure that out.
That I will say, like Love Live Sunshine, it's like some characters I definitely want as figures of, and others I can pass by.
Yeah.
I'm loving Yoshiko. She's the best.
Yeah.
The Chuni one.
Mm.
I'm also really liking Mary, the half American one. Who's basically the Nozomi for this one.
Mm. Okay. Ready on second segment.
Yes. Yes.
As a matter of fact, give me 1 second. I'll be right back.
One sec. 1 sec.
All right, I'm back.
1 sec.
Yeah.
Did you ever see Macross 2?
No, I haven't seen that one yet.
I actually like that one, even though everybody forgets about it because Shoji Karamori didn't work on it. But Haruhiko Mikimoto was still the character designer.
Mm.
So it came out in 1992. So before Plus.
Right. Morning Rising, the ARSC enjoys Macross too.
I don't know why I can't log in.
Yeah, I've been trying to figure that out.
Do I have to use a password?
No, it's not. It's not anything with that. It's the client itself.
Okay.
So if you were to use an IRC client, you'd probably have no problem.
Yeah,
but
it's just not
just
connected.
that web app embedded there is having problems.
All right. Well. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah. Macros too. All right. Let's get it started.
In 3, 2, 1. Welcome back to NTR Radio. All right. So as far as the chat goes, we are having trouble with the client that's embedded at sheslockscontrol.net/podcast. However, if you're using your own IRC client, you can still always connect at irc.rising.net in the # SLC Media channel. In addition, you can get at us on Twitter at TEAnubis, at VZMK2, and you can always get at us at the email address ntrradio@gmail.com. So we're cracking in the second segment here. I call it the nuts and bolts of buying stuff.
It's the advanced capitalism show.
The advanced capitalism show.
That's still funny. After how many years?
Because it's so dumb.
It's still funny after like 4 or 5 years.
It's dumb. It's dumb in context, and it's dumb out of context.
It's still funny.
Universally funny.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I'm like, because last episode we had that whole article about the fan service and whatnot, and once again, it was the argument like, how are you gonna outbuy people who are very okay with spending around $150 on anime figures on a monthly basis?
Yeah, Comic Cat was just this week.
Yeah.
And keep in mind, half a million people always show up to that.
Yep. A great deal of them women, but you're not going to hear that.
Oh yeah. It's only creepy men. It's only lonely men. Granted, most of the women go into buy comics too, because they even have like Fujoshi Day.
Yeah.
I always forget about that.
Most of the attendance to the first Comic Cat was women. But I digress. Basically, what we're talking about is buying habits.
Yes.
How, when, why people buy stuff.
Well, so how should we approach this?
I mean, I figured a good place to start is like how our buying habits have changed throughout time. Because I know I've gotten a whole lot more picky with figures.
I have to be picky now because me too. There's always a period where when you go through like a sort of deluge of like whatever that takes your fancy, but then you become more discerning.
Yeah.
And even like now where I've been selling stuff off, Hurricane Sandy actually very, very much helped me in that decision to like get rid of stuff. And even all stuff that was like, damaged, just regular stuff I don't care about.
Right. Yeah, no, I've just plain gotten more picky because like at the beginning it was like anime figures. I didn't have a lot of anime figures, but now it's like I'm looking for real specific stuff when I'm looking at a figure. And it's not even characters. Is I'll pass over figures of like I'll pass over Troy and Asuka figures. It doesn't matter to me anymore. But I'm looking for like there's got to be something about the figure itself that really catches my fancy, if you know what I mean.
Well, most of what I buy now is either, if you noticed, is either Nendoroids or Figma. The past 2 years, I've become very interested.
I've started getting into Figma. Nendoroids are still outside my range of purchase.
You'll get into it. Trust me.
I'm gonna tell you right now. I will be highly surprised in myself if I ever get into Nendoroids.
Oh, you'll say that. You'll say that right now. Give it a few years.
The number of super deformed figures in my collection is in the single digits. Like I could count them on one hand.
Well, that's funny. I don't mind like super deformed Moe figures, but Mecha is like I'm just not into super deformed Mecha.
Wait, yeah, nah, me neither. I never got into SD Gundam, and yeah, just SD Gundams. They have a lot of there's a few Armored Core models that are in that same art style I don't like. It never really got, because with the SDs, you don't really get that same level of detail that you get with a full-size anything, figures included.
Yeah, that's another thing that I rarely get is full-scale figures because they tend to be very expensive.
So yeah, that's what I've started buying more of, is full-scale figures.
Well, not including crane prize figures. The stuff that's like from the Kotobukiya.
Yeah, Kotobukiya, Max Factory,
Good Smile Company,
GSC.
Yeah, I have one of I almost said Atlas. What's that company? What's the one that starts with an A?
Alter. Yeah. I have one thing from Alter, and that's Nautica from K-On! And that one I got like a third of its original price because nobody wanted Nautica in a popular franchise. Right. I mean, that's a damn good deal, though. I mean,
what else? And of course, I had to get Kaneko from Idolmaster.
Naturally.
That's one. But yeah, that's another thing. Most of my scales are either stuff I got really cheap or crane price figures. A few I've bought new as their full price. And that's another thing I had to like really like put a okay, because this is the thing about this year. We're talking about this year, 2016.
Current year.
Yeah, current year. I had to be very highly dedicated to most of the stuff I've been buying has been to Idolmaster and Love Live. Specifically, Idolmaster, Figma, and Love Live Figma. And a few Nendos. And the only outside of that was a Nendo of the Perrine, and I also have Galco.
Right.
Later, because I like Galco. But and that includes Nendos for Idolmaster that I got.
Yeah, you know what? I'm just happy I'm not that into either of those, because otherwise they'd be in the same boat.
Well, that's the way I feel about speaking of boats, that's the way I feel. You think Idolmaster and Love Live are like extensive on like Kantai Collection is like the most out of all of those.
I mean, to a certain extent, I'm tempted to agree, but at the same time, I feel like past a certain point when you have so many characters, people just become discerning by necessity. Like there's only two or three Kantai Collection characters that I'm gonna care about getting figures of at all.
Well, that's like luckily for Idolmaster, they only did 5, technically 6, but that came out before the anime. 6 of Cinderella Girls. Out of how many exactly?
Yeah, well, that would just end up getting ridiculous by the point.
Yeah. Whereas for Love Live, they're doing all 9 Love Live, because it seems like Max Factory is more dedicated to doing Love Live.
Well, it seems like they want to make some money. Yeah, that's what it seems like to me.
Now they're doing Fig Fix for Love Live.
Why?
In cheerleader outfits.
They already did the Figmas.
Yeah, but they've done like after a series, they've done like whole, line up again.
Oh yeah, I know that. Why not just do that instead of a fig fix? It seems like they're not maximizing their profit potential to me.
Because these are specifically based on these cards that have them as cheerleaders, so they want very specific poses.
Oh, so they're going after the pose. See, I still don't understand that.
I might get one for at least one for posterity reasons, but I'm not starting off with the one out now.
Right.
Maybe by the time they do Maki or Nico or Nozomi, so I don't have to worry about that for a while. Yeah. So I had to even like cut out Robot Damashi, and it's a shame because this year had some great ones coming out, but I was like, because that stuff. Here's the thing, that shit stays.
Right.
After retail, that's another thing. You gotta worry about what is going to go away after coming out versus what's going to be there.
Yeah, and like normally I'm really against pre-ordering stuff, but for figures, to a certain extent, it's a necessity.
Well, I do.
You don't know.
Well, I do. I admit I do pre-order anime, even though there's no need to. But
there's really no need to. My big thing is games, because that's just incentivizing anti-consumer behavior. But anime I'm fine with. Figures, it's a necessity at this point.
Yeah. Hopefully I get some of the ones I want from Clutch and DX.
Also, on a side note, I just tried the IRC on She's Lost Control /podcast. That is working now for me. So if anyone wants to try that out, it is working, at least on my end. So if someone else wants to try that out, that'd be cool. Anyway, I know I've missed out on some figures I really wanted because I didn't pre-order them fast enough.
Yeah,
that's that quarter scale made figure that was naked.
Oh yeah.
Yep. Missed out on that. So that's another thing. There's some things I need to go searching for now because I just missed out on it. Like I'm still missing 4 out of 5 of the Figma Girls and Panzer set.
That's like me. How I even though I have the Figma version of her, I still regretting not getting the Nendoroid for Mayoi.
Oh,
because I wasn't collecting Nendoroids then.
Right.
And she's like the most like in demand. That's like the hardest to get.
Yeah, I bet that actually makes sense. Yeah, since last year, I mean, Morning Rise in the IRC mentions sometimes they'll get lucky and find stuff at cons, which I've gotten lucky on occasion. Like, matter of fact, I found stuff I missed at cons at subsequent cons. Like, that's how I got the FNC figure from Opate.
Right.
I missed it out of the previous con. Was pissed, and then immediately as soon as I saw it at that next con, I was like, okay, I need to get this right now, otherwise I'll be pissed again.
Yeah, say that's another thing. You got to assess what is it that you're into right now versus do not let, oh, I was into this thing in the past, so by obligation I have to have it now. Don't let that be, because you're only going to end up with stuff that you're not really into.
Yeah, exactly.
Because, okay, here's the thing. They're doing... this is what I was telling you earlier about how they're baiting Western fandom for Soul Chigoken. They're doing a Golion / Voltron combining.
Oh.
Which the pre-order sold out, like, immediately.
Well, that only makes sense because they're doing the new Voltron series now. So Voltron Fever is now at at another peak at this point.
Here's another thing. They just announced a Soul Chogokin Daijujin, or the first Megazord from the first Power Rangers.
Ooh.
Combining and all, and it looks. They haven't combined. They haven't shown a picture of it combined yet, but the individual Zords look amazing. They look exactly like the show. They look amazing. I'm telling you now, it's probably a little less than the price of the Go Lion, because the thing about the Go Lion is they all have little individual weapons, and all the legs are articulated.
Ooh.
The limbs aren't. Most of them aren't like articulated in that way. Some of them are just bricks, essentially. But it's so cool that they're doing that. I see why, because that's something that could be. Now the question, of course, is: are they going to do Dragon Zord and Titanus? That's what everyone. They'll probably do Dragon Zord. I doubt they'll. Titanus might be too. Unless they'll want it to be like $500, which means it'll be the first thing they'll combine all three, and it'll be like $1,000.
Yeah, so that was gonna be my next question. How much does it cost?
Well, the Go Lion was like, Big Bad Toy Store has it for like $300, but that's big. I want to see what it's on like. They haven't announced the price for the Megazord yet. Put a look on Honey Japan for what it is, even though it's sold out. Or like the pre-order's already sold out for the Go Lion. Yeah, and another thing that's kind of cool that they're doing, but I just don't really have the interest, is they've been doing a lot of masterpiece versions of early Transformer cars.
Ah.
And that's cool. It's just, it's not something that I want in the immediate.
Right.
So, let me see. Oh, so yeah, but right now they don't have it on the sale thing because but yeah, just about 300.
Good God.
Yeah. It looks beautiful. It's all the limbs are chromed. Even if little yellow ears on Voltron is chromed gold, and it's got the swords and all the little weapons and shit. It looks nuts. And you have to imagine, like, because the original Chogokin toy was die-cast each body of the lion, that they're going to do the same thing for this, because it's what's expected.
Morning Rise mentions in the IRC, I love showing people Zyuranger to mess with their heads. People are always so weirded out because they're used to Power Rangers.
Oh yeah, Zyuranger. It's kind of a weird mix of saying with a Z and a J, because Z and J are the same in Japanese. So it just means Beast Ranger.
Yeah.
So it's supposed to be dinosaurs, but then it's got like, one's a mammoth and the other's a saber-tooth. Yeah, and the other's a saber-tooth tiger, and see, that's another thing. Just are saying Voltron fever. There's also Power Rangers fever, because they're doing that live action movie.
Yep.
Which is, why not? Because 80s nostalgia is essentially dead. Most 80s nostalgia is essentially, like, as far as like Hollywood is concerned.
Yeah.
With both Ghostbusters and Gem the Holograms tanking, but now 90s nostalgia. So,
oh boy.
Yeah.
The only 90s nostalgia thing I'm in any way pumped for is, and I need to check if this is 90s at all, is they're trying to reboot SWAT Cats.
That is 90s. That is from 1994.
Yeah, they're trying to reboot SWAT Cats, and I am 100% on board with rebooting SWAT Cats. That
could work as long as it's like as far as like a Netflix original thing or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't need to be a huge production. I just want more. I want more anthropomorphic cats in a city with fighter jets. Just give me more of that, and I'm fine.
I want an anime about idols that fly jets, even though they actually
Idle
did
Defense
that.
Force Hummingbird.
Yeah, that's kind of really boring. Actually,
or Macross Delta.
Yeah, I was just thinking that.
I still need to finish Hummingbird. Like I'll get Hummingbird
not
was a bait and switch for me because they started out flying like real ass fighter jets, and then they got into something else. I don't know what's going on anymore.
What else? Yeah, that's another thing that I don't really get anymore because both the size and price is like prohibitively expensive. Is combining robots of like that nature.
Yeah.
Because that's another thing. The yen prices exponentially increased within like 2 years on this stuff. So, like I said, you have to be really discerning, even on your favorite series.
Yeah, and to a certain extent, I'm with you. But with other things, it just doesn't matter to me. Like, I'm not gonna spend I'm not gonna spend what they're asking on one of those like transforming Macross figures.
Yeah,
like
well, that's just always expensive.
Yeah,
Macross itself is a luxury item at this point. It's a luxury.
As much as I love the YF-19, I'm not gonna do that for
even
the
in Japan. Even though they always do like a new series every 10 years, Macross has always been a more niche thing. It's got its dedicated fans, but it's always a niche, and it's going to be continuing niche. And one of the big reasons for that, one of the aspects is one, Gundam's much more bigger, obviously.
Yeah.
But the other is that because the whole Robotech thing, that means it's that much harder to get that shit here.
Yep.
So there you go.
Fuck you, Harmony Gold.
Yeah. Also, don't buy anything from Toonami because that just goes right to. If you ever see anything, or Robotech from Toonami, don't buy anything from them.
Well, okay. Yeah. I'm not gonna say don't buy anything from them because people can do whatever they want. But if you're like me and you don't like Harmony Gold very much, then that's your course of action.
Yeah.
But going back to the whole yen and stuff thing, I'm less concerned about the yen than I was, and to be honest, I wasn't really in the first place. And because my philosophy on just buying stuff in general has changed.
Okay.
So I'm no longer concerned with I'm no longer that concerned. It's not, my concern hasn't all gone.
When you see what you see what price of Figma used to be versus what they are now.
Oh yeah. Though to a certain extent, it kind of depends, because you get a Figma with a lot of stuff coming with it.
Well, sometimes they cut down on the accessories. Sometimes they cut down on the accessories.
Yeah, and then that's usually cheaper than the ones with a lot of stuff coming with them.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is, I'm becoming less and less concerned with overpaying by a certain amount on particular figures or model kits, stuff like that. Because I mean, my philosophy is, if like $30 is too much for me to spend past a certain amount on a nice figure, like what am I doing buying the figure in the first place? Because if I'm concerned about that little amount of money, but I'm still spending $150 on this figure. That's why I always get just the fastest shipping and stuff, because I'm already spending this much. Why not spend? That's why I'm not concerned about how much are they overcharging at this convention. If it's way overpriced, then I'm just not going to buy it on principle because I don't support that business practice.
Okay.
There's a certain value to me on, one, being able to buy it right there and then and have it, and two, not having to deal with all the shipping and stuff, as well as that I'm just not too concerned, because if I'm spending that much and an extra $30 on top of that is going to break the bank, then what am I doing buying figures in the first place?
Yeah. What else? I talk about how, despite I loving that they're doing Headmasters again for Transformers, but that the QC always scares me away because that the figures always have garbage quality control.
Ew.
Because despite these things being made now in Vietnam to save on costs, they still because that's another thing about, particularly on robot toys, is you really need decent quality control.
Yeah.
You need to have the stuff and fit correctly. Sometimes the stuff is too loose or doesn't fit correctly. Yeah. Which, by the way, that's why Gundam model kits, Gunpla is made in Japan, because they want that precision.
Oh yeah. It really matters, because the further away you get from just the central hub of where everything is, like corporate, the more and more leeway you have in the quality of your production. That's just, unless you're directly overseeing production, it's kind of a crapshoot. And that's just the nature of manufacturing. But I'm lucky in that I've yet to come across like a production error in any of the figures I've purchased.
Mm.
None of the figures, none of the model kits, none of that.
Yeah. Well, one of my Figma Adam Love Live, what's her name? Umi. The bow was slightly crooked. Just slightly. You can't really tell too much, but it annoyed me that.
Right.
So.
And like going back to what we're buying now, it's like when that kind of stuff happens, like it's a real concern, because like when I'm buying figures now, I'm buying figures for the look of the character, like the pose, all the motion of the figure and all that, and if something's off with that, it kind of throws off the whole thing.
Yeah, I'm always scared of buying figures that have their one leg up, because you know that they kind of sag over.
Yeah. I'm kind of concerned buying figures that are leaning to one side or another.
Yeah,
because that tends to continue that lean, depending on what the figure is. So I know one figure I have a 1/6 scale Tamakiko Sakura from Two Heart 2.
Yeah, I have that.
She's got this Michael Jackson lean forward.
Me too. Yeah.
Yeah. So I've mitigated that mostly by taking her off of the base and kind of rigging up not a stand, but a way for her to stand up on her own without having the base there. And that kind of mitigates it, but that's the main concern, as I'm not feeling the Michael Jackson lean. I mean, it's that, and I'm just, there are figures, I have like my whole collection of figures, and there's stuff I've bought in the past that just is not nearly as good as the stuff I have now. Like I've got Asuka figures that they're nice, but they're not as nice as the stuff I've been buying more recently. And when I look at the difference between those, it's like I have very limited shelf space at this point, and I want stuff that looks really nice. Just really nice looking figures. I don't want to waste the space on stuff that's more general looking, stuff that's more like a lot of prize figures at cons I'll pass up because it's not as detailed. Now that doesn't mean I stopped buying prize figures, it's just bought two. But those are like, You don't see a whole lot of Lin Min-Mei figures anymore.
Well, that's it. That's another thing is with crane prize figures, you see characters that don't normally get figures that.
Yeah, exactly. Like you're not going to see FNC in anything but a crane prize figure at this point. And to be fair, they made a really, really nice prize figure of FNC. So there are some prize figures out there that are fantastic. They look great, but it's kind of a toss-up because there's some that kind of look middling. Like it's like they're acceptable, but they're not as nice as other stuff.
It depends on what company too. Like the best ones are the Band Presto ones.
Yep.
And also some of the Sega ones.
Yeah.
Avoid Taito. Taito is garbage.
I have a few Title Strike Fortress figures, and they look okay, but I look at them, and then I look at my Charlotte Yeager from Alter, and it's like two different worlds. It's like playing the game on low settings and then turning the settings up to ultra. It's like, wow, how did I deal with this for so long?
What's the other one? There was a fourth one. Taito, Ben Presto, Sega, and Furu. Yeah, Furu's not that.
Okay, no, Furio is the ones that made the Strike Witch figures. Apologies, it wasn't Taito.
I think I've seen some from Taito anyway.
No, I believe I've seen some from Taito. I remember seeing some from Taito. I think so. We don't have to ask questions. We have the internet. But that's basically what I'm saying. Is I can't, like, not sound arrogant, but I can't deal with like just your average figure anymore. It's either got to be a character that I'm not going to see otherwise, and even at that, it's got to be a nice figure, or it has to have some kind of detail and motion that's just really appealing to me. I mean, like, I take this the Sento figure back here.
Oh yeah.
I mean, beautiful figure, number one.
Who made that again? Kotobukiya?
This is.
Or is that?
I think it's Alter, but I'm not sure. Yes, it's Alter.
Alter, okay.
Beautiful figure. Highly detailed on the hair and the uniform and the little gold ropes around here, and this is, you can't tell this from photos, but if you touch the skin, it's got a different texture than the clothing. And number one, let's get some more of that in figures. But number two, it's better, and it's higher quality, and it's just nicer to have on the shelf than something else in its place. That's basically what my point is. Like, I would rather have shelf space for this than something that isn't as detailed, isn't as dynamic, and isn't as soft to the touch as this one is.
Yeah, I think that's why I buy Figma the most, is that I like the articulation. Even though I still have them on the shelf, but there's just something about the articulation, like having them posed the way you want them, or changing the faces.
The thing with me and Figma is, they're nice figures. They're very nice. They've got a level of detail that you don't see in, like, figures. You don't see that level of detail in figures that of a higher scale, in some like prize figures and stuff like that.
Yeah. But
my thing is, I'm going to put it in a pose and it's going to stay there, and I'm probably not going to repose it.
Yeah. That's kind of one of the things, though.
But I mean, that said, the little armory line of accessories has basically gotten me into Figmas, because that's another thing I like about Figmas, that there's a whole bunch of accessories out there. I mean, there's Figma scale arcade machines.
Yeah.
I know. I saw they were selling a Figma scale hang-on arcade machine with the arcade bike and all that. So that's what I like about Figmas. There's a whole bunch of accessories, and at the end of the day, it's just more stuff to take up shelf space, but it's nice stuff. It's nice stuff, and it's really enjoyable to get into. Like once I got all these little armory things, like again, highly detailed. They look really nice, and it's anime girls with guns.
Are you looking to get any other like Love Live ones?
I still need to get Nozomi.
Yeah, she's coming.
I'm just gonna get Nozomi on principle because I like Nozomi.
Yeah,
but probably no other Love Live ones though. Maybe Maki, but that's up in the air. I know I'm getting Nozomi.
Yeah.
Speaking of Figmas, actually, I had actually gotten Figma Haruhi from that anime store as well. So she's gonna get a weapon at some point.
Oh wow! So that's an old one. Yeah. Which version? Wait, which version of Haruhi?
I believe it's the first one.
Does she have the long sleeves?
Matter of fact, let me take a look at it. Give me a second.
All right. If it's the long sleeve or the short sleeve?
Short sleeve.
Short sleeve. Okay, that was the second release.
Okay.
All right. That's why you were able to probably find hers. Yeah. I have Figma of. I don't have a Figma of Haruhi. I have the Revel Tech of her, but I have the Figma of both two versions of her, of Mikuru, the original school uniform one and the one in their cheerleading outfit.
Ah, okay. See, as little as I am into Figmas, but I'm getting more into it. I'm even less into Revel Techs. I have one because it's Asuka.
The human figure ones aren't that great.
Yeah,
I have one.
Really are not.
I have the Haruhi one, which has aged very poorly, and I have the one Catalya from Queen's Blade.
Ooh,
which
I did not even know they made a Revel Tech of her.
I'm not even a big Queen's Blade fan, but I just like her design.
Oh yeah,
and it's also cast off. It's also cast off.
Oh,
all the Queen's Blade ones are cast off.
I might need to look into that then. I don't know.
Yeah,
that's another thing I've been really getting into is cast off figures.
Yeah, those are decent. But most of the best Revel Tech stuff is when they were doing the mecha.
Yeah.
But even that's kind of like, I mean, there's ones that I love that I've gotten, but it's kind of aged in the sense like that Robot Damashi has kind of superseded that.
Yeah, and to a certain extent, if I'm looking for posable mecha figures, I'm immediately gonna go to model kits first. And if there's no model kits, I'm gonna look for something like the Revel Tech is not gonna be my first choice in posable mecha figures.
Well, that's another thing that's of a difference to us is if you chose between figures and mecha, figures and model kits of mecha, I go for the figure first because I like the completed figure. When I go with model kits, I prefer like something that's 1/100 or master grade size.
See, I'm big in the model kits because I like the building process, and I've gotten into customizing them at this point.
But I think I'm gonna have to not right now, but down the line when they get that real grade Sinaju.
Oh yeah, they've been coming out with some nice ass real grades that I'm gonna need to. Eventually, I'm going to need to get out here and spend my money on because they have the real grade Astray red frame from Gundam Seed Astray. Congratulations, you've come out with the one seed design that you're going to make me buy. Wait, I'm big into the model kits just because I love the build process, and I love customizing, because that's like problem solving to me. Because back when I don't know if you can see it on the camera. Yeah, you can. On the top of my shelf, the very top, I have a Hyzak with a Zaku 1 head, and I believe the Zaku 1 arms on its backpack. And to figure out how to do, because none of those parts are compatible. Like I believe the Hyzak torso has the peg sticking out to put the arms on, and then it's either one way or the other. Anyway, my point is completely incompatible, but I figured out how to do it anyway. Just by pure just looking at it, figuring out liberal application of a drill bit, and there you go, a customized mobile suit. That's what I like doing with it, and I like the ability to make it my own. That's what I like about model kits.
Yeah, especially 1/4 scale. That's kind of cheap.
Oh yeah,
to do that.
But like even 1/100 scale, because I have this. I got this Belgdor 1/100 from Virtualon, and what I actually did was I took off the original hands, took the hands from a 1/100 RGM 79, put those on. So now I can have the machine that it usually has its own proprietary weapons, but now I can have it hold basically anything a master grade Gundam model can hold, just by switching out the hands. And I'm also planning on putting on hard points so it can like mount the thing, mount the pistol on its leg or something like that. It's more stuff I plan on doing to it, but that's what I love about just the model building process. Okay, how do I do this? How am I going to do that?
I want one of those one of those Zoid ones from Kotobukiya.
I need to get. There's one specific one I want to get before anything else. Any of those Zoids models from Kotobukiya, and that's Lena Toros' custom gun sniper with all the guns on it and a little shopping basket full of missiles. That's been my favorite Zoid since I first watched Zoids.
Yeah. Oh, cool! They got the Godos one. One day I'm gonna have to get that.
I'm gonna. This is what's gonna happen. I'm gonna get it back into Zoids, and that's just full circle, because that's where I started building model kits originally. So I started out building Zoids. Though I think my very, very first model kit was a Death Scythe Hell. 1/144 scale Death Scythe Hell. That was my first one. Then I got into Zoids, and then there was this long stretch until I started getting back into Gundam models. But even as far as Gundam models go, I have also become more picky. Though that said, a lot of that is not based on just me getting picky. A lot of that's just based on a lot of designs coming out that I'm not 100% on board with, and me just not liking. Like, you're not going to find me buying very much out of seed.
Yeah.
But yeah, that I need to get back into Zoids. It's another thing I need to get back. There's a lot of stuff like Armored Core and Virtualon that I've been looking for Armored Core models. Virtualon models I basically have to find those online now, because you're not even gonna find those at conventions. But there's a lot of old others model kits that I need to find or get into like that. But yeah, that's my whole thing with model kits. It's the customization, and it's to the point where I don't know how much I would enjoy just posable mecha figures. Because at that point, it's like, yeah, it's a mecha, but does this make sense? Like, because I didn't make it, it kind of means less to me.
Maybe, but I just like the really articulated mecha that, is... I don't know, I'm more of an action figure person than the kit person. I like model kits too. That said, you should try out a Robot Damashi.
Yeah, I plan on getting a Robot Damashi. One, I need to find one I really like, and two, I need to find one that I really like and isn't gonna cost a whole lot because I'm halfway on spending that money
GM
on
Sniper.
That one might be my candidate because
the GM Sniper.
That is a really nice mobile suit, just pure, just from a baseline.
Yeah, some of these are still on sale at Holiday Japan. That just nobody bought. Wait, let me take a look if you don't mind me looking.
Yeah, no.
No, wow, there's the L game one, but I don't know if you like that.
It's got a decent design.
The Dragonar. Get that, the Dragonar. Dragonar 1 at Holiday Japan. Let's see how much that. $27.
It's not bad at all.
Okay, that is recommended. That's literally half the price. Yeah. If you want to try two, get the Dragonar and the GM Sniper to start out with. And well, okay, there is a kit of the GM Sniper, but there isn't really
a
new
kit
kit of the Dragonar. Yeah. Oh, but I love the way the foot bends on the figure, the GM Sniper.
Yeah, that's one thing I will admit that just the straight up figures have on the models is the really intricate articulation, because you're not going to find anything like that on anything but a real grade.
That's what I like. Yeah. That's why I like 1/100 model kits, is you could get a really big figure that doesn't cost a lot.
Right.
That's kind of why if I go with model, I go with the bigger one.
Yeah. Honestly, I buy a whole lot more Master Grade Gundam models, but it's a thing where number one is shelf space. Number two, I need to just buckle down and get a whole bunch, because the reason I get a whole bunch of high grades, because I already have a bunch of high grades, and then I could mix and mash, kit bash, customize, do all that kind of stuff with the high grades. I can't really do that with the master grades because I have two. Well, three.
I think it's easier to mix and match with high grades anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't start off with really the more the more complex transforming ones.
Yeah,
I've built some of them.
I'm really not into the transforming mobile suits just on a whole. Not much, at least. Like, there's some that are really cool, but for the most part, I really couldn't care less. Like, the Zeta Gundam Yaki transform, I'm not going to transform it. But like, if I get that 1/100 scale EXS Gundam from Sentinel, I'm transforming that thing back and forth. Let's go. It's on.
Oh, yeah.
But I will say that one thing that I've started to realize is that as you buy more stuff, as your collection grows, you then need to start spending money on stuff to maintain your collection.
Right.
Like, I've had to get new shelves because there's just too much shit for all my old shelves.
Yeah. Oh, here's one that you should get, but it's not on sale right now, unless you don't care. The Crossbone Gundam X2 Kai.
I might get that.
That one I recommend.
I love the design of the Crossbone Gundams.
Yeah, that one is. That one's really good. It looks great and also has great articulation. Yeah.
Morning Rise in the IRC. The transformation ability made the Master Grade Zeta Gundam so bad. I love how mine looks, but it's such a pain to deal with.
Ask him if he has the version 1 or the version 2.
Yeah, that's probably the key there.
Because I have the 2.0 one, and yeah, it is kind of a pain in the ass a little anyway. Whereas the Robot Damashi Zeta, it's just a figure; it doesn't transform.
Yeah, it's the version 1.
Oh, the version. Okay, that's why. Yeah, that's like an ancient. That was released in like the late 90s.
Oh yeah.
I think part of that even has a light up.
I know one thing when I get Master Grades, I'm gonna have to stock up on those little LED things that you can put inside the head.
Yeah.
Because I need to get one for my Master Grade Jesta. I plan on getting Master Grade Marasai. I'm getting one for that. But yeah, as I was saying, so now you need to spend money on stuff to maintain your collection. I need to buy more shelves, or like when I'm more established, I want to get one of those glass display cases and more of those rotating turntables, so I can just have that going the whole time.
And then one day you're gonna get a perfect grade.
Perfect. I want to get that perfect grade Unicorn Gundam
with the base.
With the base. With the whole light up psycho frame thing going on, the whole shebang. That's my dream perfect grade there. And then and maybe after that the perfect grade is a stray red frame.
I've always liked the way the Mark II perfect grade looks.
I like the Mark II on a design standpoint.
Yeah, me too.
I don't know if I'd get a perfect grade of it.
I have the Master Grade one.
Yeah, I'd be on board with Master Grade of it.
Yeah, the 2.0 one with the nice chrome pistons.
Yeah.
The Mark II is just one of my favorite designs anyway. It's so basic looking, but that's kind of what I like. It has a basic, but it works so well.
Yeah, it's like it's like the Gundam was real flashy compared to like everything that was going on in that same era.
Yeah.
To me, it feels like the Mark II, everything has gotten a step up, and the Mark II has it's kind of remained at the same level as the Gundam had. So it looks very utilitarian with everything else in that era.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean that's the whole thing. It's like,
yeah, there's a perfect grade Zeta also.
Yeah, I'm not too concerned about the perfect grade Zeta. I actually don't like the Zeta's design as much as I like the Mark II's design. Not nearly as much.
I like the Zeta as well, but yeah, the Mark II is my favorite. I really like the Zeta Plus.
The Zeta Plus is nice. I like the entire Zeta Plus line and everything based off of that is great. But I'm not a fan of the baseline Zeta. It's funny. I like everything that is derived from the Zeta. Like, I love the Zeta Plus and all its derivatives. I love the double Zeta and all its derivatives. But the Zeta, not too keen on. I'll go with Full Armor Double Zeta. Cool with. Superior Gundam. Cool with. Zeta Plus. Cool with. All that. Double Zeta. Prefer the Mark II. But yeah, I think what we'll leave off with is I think just respect your buy. Like I like to just go with my gut as far as buying stuff goes. I like to impulse buy because And I know I will viscerally love this thing, as far as things go, because and to a certain extent, that's just me, because I don't get that impulse where I really love the thing, but then it sort of peters out. I just have a very logical thought process like that, where if I see something and I viscerally enjoy it, I know I'm gonna viscerally enjoy it months down the line.
I'm more into I like to plan. I like to know what I like. There's and research certain things that I know. But that's why I pre-order stuff, because that way I know I got the guarantee. So time to think about if I still want it or not.
To a certain extent, it works the same way with me, except I'm pre-ordering stuff because I viscerally like this thing right now. Hit the pre-order button, without thinking.
Yeah.
I know. I need more. I need more figures like. I need more figures like Toilet Chan here, to be perfectly honest.
Toilet Chan.
And not to say I need specifically more figures that are on a toilet, but I'm saying I need more figures that. What? Oh, okay. I'm not saying that's not true, but.
I want one I want one that's got stuff in it already. That's what you want, VZ.
Well, to a certain, and going off topic, to a certain extent, yeah, you could probably fill this with water and a little food coloring and make it look disgusting.
Put it, yeah. You get some brown Play-Doh and get some little brown Play-Doh and just put it in, and gotta keep that NTR Radio quality.
Yep, but what I'm saying is I want more figures that are like hentai figures.
Yes,
stuff like that, where they're not they're cast-offs. It's like they're figures that don't care.
Yeah. There's some interesting ones I've seen that come out.
Oh yeah.
There's some lowly ones that.
Oh yeah. Lowly ones. That I'm gonna hesitate on, because it's at that point it's out on my desk for everyone to see.
Here's your summons to court.
Yeah, exactly.
Here's your figure, and here's the summons to court.
Well, yeah, and and I'm importing it. So then now we're involving customs, and there's no point at which I want to involve customs with anything. But that's what I'm looking to really get more of, is figures that cast-off figures, hentai figures, stuff like that. What about you, Vizzy? What are you looking to get more of?
What am I looking to get more of? Well, I'm looking up to finish my Love Live Figma collection, at least for the original cast. There's still a couple of Robot Damashi that I really want, that I'm waiting for to go on sale, at least, like the Cubile. I still. Yeah, the Cubile.
You almost completely forgot about the Cubile. I need to get that model kit.
They have an RGM 79 from the original.
The GM's another model, another mobile suit where I like everything derived from it, but I don't like the original.
Well, the ones that came after are better, but no, the original one's still cool. I always like the gyms more than the Gundams a little bit.
I've always liked the grunt mobile suits more than the prototype super prototype mobile suits like the Gundams.
Well, I like those too, but this is something about the way the head looks on those more than the.
I'm 100% with you on that. There's just something simple and utilitarian about the RGM style of head compared to the Gundam style of head.
Yeah. What else I'm looking at? I don't know. It'll be good once this year's over and I could kind of slow down. Like I said, because this year's been crazy with the stuff added pre-order.
Right.
So I'm looking for at least a good 6 months of downer time, where maybe I'll get something. Maybe I'll get something in the interim. In like like I said, one of those Robot Damashi, but I don't have to like pre-order anything because I don't have to worry about Love Live Sunshine for a while.
Right.
So,
yeah, I mean, right now I've got pre-orders coming out. Yeah, every month up to December.
Did you have that Nozomi Figma?
No, is that up for pre-order now?
Yes. All 9, or they're all the way up to Nico.
I will have to jump on that then. But yeah, I've got later this month. I've got another of these giant, heavy-ass quarter-scale bunny girl figures.
Of what character?
Cecilia from Infinite Stratos. September, I've got a Gurusaya no Kajisu figure and Kongo from Kansai Collection coming.
Yeah. October, by the way, if you wanna help, I don't know if I should say this on air or not. I'll wait till after.
All right.
All right. I'll wait till after.
Yeah, October. I'm really looking forward to because we got that figure, Miya Wasato, the M4 girl from Little Armory. That figure is coming out. I'm looking forward to that. Late November, I've got the Mia from Monster Musume. That's coming. And then December is the Darjeeling Beach Queens.
Oh, yeah. All I have left is... I don't have that much left, actually. I have Figma... I have... At the end of this month, I have Figma Nozomi. So, yeah, you better hop on that.
Oh, yeah, I'm jumping on that.
Then September, I have Figma Hanayo. And Galco, Nendoroid Galco. And then October, I have just Figma Nico.
And on that note, we're going to take another break. Keep it right here on NTR Radio.
All right, I'll say it now. What I was going to say before. If you want to help Kikaku Cat out.
Oh yeah. He's got the thing going.
Yeah. But maybe we should make an offer for that. I know you said. Oh.
Good.
I know you said like you don't collect Nendoroids, but maybe you should take his Cecilia.
I don't know, because my thing with Nendoroids is, when I'm buying a figure, I'm looking like for the full detail of the character.
Well, true, but you get the full detail of the head.
I want the whole thing, like, because like the head, yeah, fine, but I gotta have the full. Everything. It's got to have the butt. It's got to have the thighs. It's got to have everything. It's like that's really what I'm looking for with a figure. It's got the dynamic motion, the full body details, all that.
Yeah, he still has it. Cecilia Alcart. This is what it looks like, by the way. Put it on the side.
Roger.
Actually, does look pretty good. I'm just not really that into Infinite Stratos enough.
Yeah, like the head detail's not bad. It's just everything else is tiny.
I figure, if you wanted to help.
All right, we have no mail.
Oh. How about we just continue on what we were talking about?
Yeah, that's cool.
Just talk more about figure shit.
I'm down with that. Ready on second segment.
Third segment.
Ready on third segment.
Yes.
In 3, 2, 1. Welcome back to NTR Radio. In the absence of mail, we're just going to continue on the figure discussion.
Yeah. During the 90s, I was really into like Power Rangers and Sentai. So the 90s and up to the early 2000s. So that's why I collected a lot of was that stuff.
See, back in like the 90s and early 2000s, I really didn't collect a whole lot of like the same stuff I collect now. Like Zoids was my thing back around that era, more into the early 2000s with that. But other than that, I wasn't really into the anime figures. I wasn't really into the Gunpla. Honestly, it makes me wonder what I was buying around then. It was probably video games. And even at that point, it's like, it's relatively recently for me that I've gotten into actually getting the figures, getting the model kits, and going all this merchandise, the Dakimakura covers, and it is incrementally leveled up to me where I'm at the point where now I'm selling this stuff. That's just giving me a whole different perspective on the whole market, to be perfectly honest.
Yeah, that's another thing I love buying is art books for the shows I like.
That's what I'm just getting into right now is art books.
Yeah, I like the ones that are like of the series that I like.
See, I'm more into the ones that are of the artists.
Well, no, that's good too.
I mean, it's like, and like, and to be fair, I know of a couple that are just of series that I would be interested in, because I know there's a series of Evangelion art books that I've seen around the convention circuit, and I haven't gotten yet, but probably the next time I see it, I'm going to get it. And I know there's a series of Hatsune Miku art books that I'm sort of interested in. I want to take a look at what's inside just to know what I'm getting, but those I might be interested in as well.
Coming soon, the art of Sonic 2.
I hope not. I really hope not.
Fuck and piss!
The art of Sonic 2. Hardbound, hardcover. Get yours autographed today.
But yeah, it's like it's figures and stuff, but once again, all the other stuff is that I'm really starting to get into. It's like I'm getting into the Dakimakura, I'm getting into the art books. It's like it's the widening out of stuff I'm buying.
One thing is getting into is like posters and such. Even though it has to be for series that it's like really like I really like.
Yeah, like back in the day, I was more into wall scrolls. Now I really, and to a certain extent, that is because I have really limited wall space.
Yeah, well, most of mine is filled up. Still got that 5-star stories one over there. And that was for free. That was from New Type.
Damn. Fuck, New Type. Number one. I miss New Type USA. Cause like it was the really good anime magazine. Right, number two is the New Type centerfolds. Just have a whole bunch of those. I probably still have them somewhere, but it used to be a whole bunch of those hanging up around the room here. Yeah, there are some wall hangings that I'm real into, but that's another thing I'm really picky on, and most of the case with that is because it's just limited wall space. Morning Rise in the ARC. Akinohana art book. They have faces sometimes, I promise.
I'm gonna look for that later, see if they have that. Just for...
it's gonna be so hilarious to me if they do, because I don't know, there's much to that art. I'm sorry. But yeah, there's some other stuff I'm in the market for. I'm gonna tell you what. One thing that I'm looking into doing that's real crazy is I want to see about making one of those anime cars with all the anime shit on it.
The Itasha.
Itasha.
Yes.
But like if I did that, like what series and character would I choose? And then that's another 3 hours of contemplation.
Girls and Panzer.
See, I don't know if I'd choose Girls and Panzer. Like right now, the idea in my head is Macross. Do you remember Love? Like here, all right. Picture this: one side, Lin Min Mei; the other side, Misa Hayase. Down in the front, you got a huge UN Spacey emblem, and then that's as far as I got with that idea. But anyway, that's something. That's just something crazy I've been looking into because, hey, I do crazy things on occasion, so let's do that. But that I've been looking into doing more wild stuff, but then again, what I've mostly been looking into is how do I just expand the business with selling this stuff. Morning Rise in the IRC, and I 100% echo this sentiment, by the way. Do you remember Love is the biggest reason I hate Harmony Gold? I want my US Blu-ray.
Yes.
But mostly as far as the idea of buying stuff goes, what I've been looking mostly into is how do I get more into selling this stuff. So as far with the concept of that, it's just come full circle to me where now I'm on the opposite side of the spectrum, which to me is very exciting. Yeah, mostly that's what I've been looking into, and it might end up doing one or the other. I just enjoy it. Anyway, is that the show?
Yeah, I think that's all we can say.
That is indeed the show. The email address is ntrradio@gmail.com. The website is sheslostcontrol.net/podcast or /NTR Radio. Check VZ stuff out at vzmk2moemekigatai.wordpress.com. Hit us up on Twitter at TEAnubis, at VZMK2, and K-Gods is back. He's at LazyErica00 again. Check out Iyashike at iyashike.moe. Check out Nyan the magazine at sheslostcontrol.net/Nyan, NYAAN. And keep on the lookout for the next issue of Nyan coming out on the 1st of September. Anything else?
No. Check out my art at Pixiv.
Check out VZ's art at Pixiv. And I'm Tom Forster Anubis.
And I'm VZ Mark II.
And even though we overpay by $30 every time we say it, this is NTR Radio.